What would you ask a lawyer if you could ask them anything? My brother and I opened up an answering machine to allow friends and family to do just that. The questions we received were remarkable. So remarkable, in fact, that we decided to turn them into a podcast. Now, while this podcast isn't legal advice and it's just for fun, we think you're really going to like what you hear. With that being said, my name's Nathan Beam, and I help run a personal injury law firm in Melbourne, Florida.
My name's Riley Beam, and I'm a personal injury attorney.
And from the law offices of Douglas R. Beam, this is Good Questions for Bad Days.
Purely hypothetical question that has never happened in my neighborhood. But if I have a neighbor who I know is drinking while driving around the neighborhood and is a danger to the neighborhood, we've had to dodge him swerving or her swerving in the road. And I feel like taken a lot of steps to try to stop this from happening, but want to confront the person. Is there anything I should do to kind of protect myself or to kind of set myself up for success and not to get in trouble for like trespassing on their property or confronting them in any way? Just wondering about that.
Well, it's a good idea to contact the police. Let them know that this is going on in your neighborhood. Identify the person. You've seen them driving. It's unlikely they'll get arrested for their past acts, even if there's evidence of it. But more likely than not, the police will pay attention a little more to your neighborhood.
I know we'll get calls from people, and they're really upset with the police officers in their community for a number of reasons. Sometimes it's misunderstandings. Sometimes there could be actual, misdeeds. But some of the folks who have contacted us before in the past, Riley, have wanted to kind of do vigilante justice, right? It's a sense of like, we're going to take them down. Let's go get them. What's your advice to people generally who want to, and it's not towards the police. They don't want to take the police down, but whatever the issue is that they're not getting help with, right? They want to go take it on. What's your advice to people who generally want to pursue vigilante justice?
Well, don't hurt anybody else, Don't seek out this engagement. If it's a continuing problem, you can file injunctions against people to keep them away from you or to stop engaging in certain behavior. If they're calling all the time, or if they're, cyber stalking you, or if they're riding by your house, you get an injunction filed, and that's a civil injunction. So it's a civil order that the judge will enter, either listing no contact or a certain amount of feet you have to stay away from that person, or they have to stay away from you. And if they violate it, then that civil order turns into a criminal charge, so violating an injunction. So they could be prosecuted by the state and face criminal penalties. They could go to jail for this. That's helpful in neighbor disputes or neighborhood disputes, especially if they're targeting at you. So it's a little different than the drunk driver who's just kind of a public nuisance. And we've helped clients with that in the past, but typically it's a lot of he said, she said. And so the more physical evidence you can have, or electronic or whatever that you can show the judge, the more likelihood that you'll prevail. And if it includes more than pestering you, if there are threats, you can also file an injunction. You may still want to call the police first and just say, this is going on. I don't know how to handle this. And they may say, no, this is a criminal charge. We can arrest them. Or they may tell you this is civil. You can handle it in court. So there's still options for you. Vigilante justice will not end well for you. That rarely works out. It just brings more issues to the people. But yeah, contact the police, especially immediately, especially if you feel like you're in danger.
While I wish that I had a very particular set of skills like Liam Neeson, I don't think that vigilante justice is really for us. If you're facing any issues in the neighborhood, call the cops, and if you need extra help, you can call a lawyer. If you're facing a legal issue, particularly a personal injury one, call us. With over $100 million in settlements and verdicts for families in Central Florida, we've gotten pretty good at what we do. And in the 35 years we've been open, the reviews and the word from the community, I think, is representative of that. So if you're facing any sort of legal issue, you should call us. If we can't help you, there's a really good chance that we know someone who can. And hey, if you're an attorney who's listening to this podcast and is looking for co-counsel in Florida, you should also give us a call. We regularly work on multi-million-dollar cases and would be happy to help. You can reach us at 321-723-6591 or at dougbeam.com. And from all of us, the law office of Douglas R. Beam, we really appreciate you listening, and we're looking forward to answering more good questions for bad days.